the timeline of the matchups, the timeline what's happened so far for both Fnatic and WYLDE, it's such a good moment for them to square off and prove which of these two lower seeded teams in stage 1 is gonna come out on top.
For the longest time, Fnatic have been, unfortunately, not a big conversation point here in Rainbow Six Siege, one of the largest organizations in esports. And man, they've had some pretty historic matches back when they had an Oceanic team. And it's been so frivolous ever since then. It's been so challenging. They went to Japan, didn't find much success there. They've been in Europe for a hot minute now. They've tried so many different rosters and they haven't found success. And finally enough, they picked up a team that was once major champions, of course, that good old rogue roster. This is a continuation of that team. We still have Deepek from way back in 2022. Is this finally the point where Fnatic becomes a serious contender? Undefeated so far, 3 for 3 on the heels of G2. Now they come up against WYLDE.
One of the big things that Desk spoke about before this game started was Fnatic on defense have been very consistent in picking these different pocket operators to make these kinds of mini plays. Pulse was mentioned a lot being one of those key facting operators, and they've kind of doubled down on the information game, bringing the Valkyrie as well. Then, in case the bombs is going to be a bit weak because of that extensive roam game downstairs, they bring the Tashanka, not the smoke, because that's only going to be 3 toxic babes, yes, a bigger area, but a smaller duration of plant denial against something like an Aruni, Ying, Grim kind of rush. So Tashanka can lock the bomb side, you can enable your roamers, and WYLDE have to problem solve from different areas from the get-go. And guess what? They don't read into this. They don't get enough intel in the drone phase, perhaps. They don't get the IQ. So now you're gonna be up against a Pulse and a Valkyrie with no real counter information, unless Matt on the 0 can get some good Arcus chems around the building to get that info instead.
Deploying heartbeat sensor!
You said Mats on that 0. He's actually the best player at the moment in the league at finding those opening kills. +5 has yet to die in opening engagement. Picking the 0. In a way, he can just chuck down his utility and then get on for the entry. But at the moment, it seems like it's going to be WYLDE making their entry into admin on the back of Garen on the Blackbeard, supported by that Ying. So they make some progress.
It's very good. I mean, often on Consulate, it's a very defender favorite map because it's hard to, frankly, get inside the building on the first step. Fnatic right now are actually allowing WYLDE in the building for the very first step because they want to C4 them when they enter that second room. We call that coffin. And when Blackbeard walks in, the C4 is primed and ready. It gets popped a little bit too early, wrong time, maybe wrong placed location as Blackbeard was punching down the cute barricade. The C4 was below the desk.
Oh, beautiful shot though from Garen. Baiting out Wizard, no more keeper barriers from the Azami. Oh, temptation from Boomsy to go for a repel on in. It's a great start here for WYLDE as the Candela's ring on out. And look at that, the Ying goes straight in with the pistol, doesn't even need the shotgun. And the rug has been pulled from Fnatic. However, they find their kills. Jegs, a quick 2-piece with the MP5. Stabilizes for the defense. Garen and Mats have to figure out where they're going to go for this plant, and they're worried about that bulletproof camera that's fed information to Jegs. Also keep in mind, Croxon, he may not have a C4, but he is that pulse for late round information.
It's true. No shotgun, though. Got the UMP, so playing downstairs can be quite tough. Now Mats can try and get the bomb down, perhaps. Yeah, pushing. Cover. He's gonna go for the kill, actually. He's gonna push forward.
This is very dangerous. Straight to the crossfire! Oh, Garen! That's a quick way to kickstart things for WYLDE.
They start off opening kill. Fnatic, they strike back. They equalize to a 2-on-2 despite losing that player early. And then WYLDE, they kind of dance back and forth, right? They play meeting, they touching a little bit of CEO by the door, right? Thinking, do we go for a plant deep in the corner? Do we just cover with the Blackbeard? What do we do here? And then Garen says, I think I have an angle here. Just keeps walking forward, just fighting Fnatic everywhere, and gets the first kill and inflicts a follow-up as well. I mean, look at this. He's in such a bad spot and yet didn't even need his teammate. Fnatic,
Unreal.
I mean, Deepek kind of said in that brief player interview we saw earlier, this is, the Falcon Slayers. He's a bit afraid of WYLDE. Hearing that from Deepek, from Fnatic, that's kind of crazy. But look at this opening round. They should be scared and they should be respecting WYLDE every step of these rounds because they are here to play.
That's exactly right, and we already know what WYLDE can do on Consulate. It was a tough game that they played their second match against G2. They got 5 rounds, they pushed G2 the distance, didn't steal any points out of that game, unfortunately for them, but it's evidence that they're good on this map. Fnatic, on the other hand, this is the main criticism I've had of them. They haven't shown much of a map pool so far, Pengu. We've only seen them play Cafe, and like Jack said it on the desk, yes, they've played very different Cafes from each match. You said that they kind of ran around and just blew people's heads off, went a little bit crazy, but Consulate's a very different beast.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like so far from the few games of EML that I've seen, it seems very fast-paced. You know, I was thinking to myself, you know, Lee Sin and Fenrir losing the shotgun means you can play less trap operators on defense, so we might see some of my Jaeger shields or utility. We're not really seeing that necessarily. We're seeing defenders play even more aggressive if anything, and the game is kind of speeding up. Gunfight's very important, 50-50 is very important. And the enemy, when you're on the attack, if defenders are aggressive against you, you kind of just have to match. You can't just play really, really passive and wait for your opponent to make all the first moves.
Oh. Booms is making his way in from the rear side. Oh, no, he's thinking better of it. What do we reckon? Does he win this? If Deepek overswings here, that's Maestro dead. No more using those Evil Eyes.
It's very risky. But as I said before, you can't let your opponent make all the first moves. The Deepik has to get aggressive some point in the server. The other thing is, his side teammate is actually going to be Wizard on the Echo, so who's going to go for the swing if they go for a backside push, right? They've actually rotated now Croxon instead to enable Deepik and Wizard to be active on drone duty, but look at this. Jackson in the closet of Piano finds the headshot, free pick. The roam game staying strong, and they can still fall back if they need to.
Yeah, it's the first opening death for Matt of the stage, I'm afraid. Killing his flawless record. Still, WYLDE can come back from it if they're able to finally get rid of the rest of these roamers and start pushing these players down to site, but Jegs and Sarks together will continue holding on.
Changing mags.
Oh, he's pro in the corner, debating it so well right now. It's a mini play. Another Fnatic classic.
Oh, I like this. Cheeky. Oh, beautiful. Jegs baits his teammate to perfection. Fuses down on the ground. Oh, come on. He can't lose this one, Sneak. Jegs down to low HP. Still stands his ground, and meanwhile, Croxon's gone up for a flank and a wall bang for Jegs. It's a 3K on the round. And you can say goodnight. A flawless for Fnatic and a swift reply.
All right, just like that, one small mini play ends up carrying the entire round for Fnatic. It's two people, the Goyo in the mirror, roaming around Piano and, you know, Exhibition main lobby portion of the map. And they got the hats off to fall back towards the bomb site if they need to, but it's not opened in advance. And they figured, okay, we get the opening pick, we can now afford to make a bit of a risky play. One player prone, cover each other. When they make the decision to overstay their welcome and like really commit to this roam game, they get a third player flanking from Visa actually that helps take down that player inside of lobby, the Gridlock, that was trying to go for the wallbang kill. So the entire team is playing together. Then you add on top the fact that Wizard is constantly watching those yokais on the Echo, getting live information across the entire building basically, and Deepek, he's just watching the damn bomb site. So the entire team is actually playing around one singular player or two single roamers instead of Piano, and it's again Fnatic having a very clear win condition, a very clear goal in that round, and everyone communicating together on what they can do to help each other to get that round victory.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Simple, but it's good.
It's a good start for both teams. That's the thing that I'm liking here, Nick, is that we've seen both teams put their best foot forward in the first 2 rounds, even though, yeah, WYLDE maybe didn't look too great on that attack there. We've seen a good round from WYLDE, a good round from Fnatic. This is going to be a serious match. This isn't going to be one team just rolling the other over.
Yeah. Kind of curious in this upcoming, you know, round number 3, because if it's going to be a one-sided one round and one-sided, oh, not one-sided, the first round, it's like down to a 2v2, but, you know, WYLDE was in good control. The Fnatic took a flawless. What happens in round 3? Any back-to-back winners are going to bounce back and forth. Operator lineup, kind of similar, kind of different. Fnatic clearly wants information. Now some counter intel as well with the Mossy, slowing their flexibilities. WYLDE, they want kind of the same, right? The Blackbeard, the Zero, some entry, some info, some util deny. And I think again for Fnatic, you know, they're fishing for C4 kills. They got 4 in pocket, they got Pulse and the Valkyrie. they need to find a pick somewhere ideally right now because they don't have that much utility to fall back upon if they don't get a kill somewhere. And in a 5v5 against something like a Deimos and a Blackbeard, I feel like WYLDE is basically favored in this round.
Said, the drone work is slowing down. One of the Roteros caught by a pest. The top of Spiral. Good that they've got lots of backup info though. I mean, you talk about all the drones that they've got, then you've got the Zero Argus cams, the SAM cams, plus you've got the Roteros, which are in a way a source of information. Hello and good night. Garen won't be clutching up anymore on the Blackbeard this round. Good Nitro Cell, and that's the info for the defense coming to fruition. A second one, and it lands. 2 C4s, and yet 2 still in pocket for Fnatic.
A clear game plan and a clear execution of said game plan. They needed at least 1 C4 kill. How about 2? The irony for Garen and Blackbeard is that was exact same pre-placed C4 location as in round number 1 that Garen evaded by punching the keeper barrier. And he didn't really make a mental note of the fact that they're playing C4s below, because 2 rounds later, he dies that same C4. Unlucky, Garen. And lack of information downstairs in Visa and such. 3v5 and WYLDE forced to clutch up and go for broke. They have to force some ugly gunfights because strategically they are locked out of this one.
Time to go fishing. Ooh. What better operator to do that than Sneak on the Deimos? Trying to push poor Croxon up the stairs. Here we go. Nice timing. However, a shotgun to reply from Deepak. Yeah, and Sarks is going to make this a 4v1. So that's the end of the line for WYLDE in this round. It didn't start that well for them, Pengu, with those C4s, and it certainly didn't end that well either.
No, I think that frag grenade tells the full story of that round. Hit the corner of the yellow pillar and falls back in his face. Fnatic swing off it together and get the final kill. I'm curious if we're gonna see a Pulse/Valkyrie ban coming out from WYLDE, or if they're gonna opt for something else, because I feel like there are easy ways to deal with Fnatic's current playstyle, and it's called playing IQ. It's called droning below the floor that you're taking control over. They're not doing either. They're actually gonna ban the Warden instead, and maybe they can force out some of those crazy operators like the Ying or the Glass, something like that, but they still need to deal with the verticality of those explosives.
We're seeing more information operators brought out. This time Solus tempted. Here we go and have a look. 4K replay of these 2 massive Nitro Cells that kicked off the rounds.
So good.
I mean, it's one of those things, it's a tale as old as time. Even in the old Consulate, Pulse was an absolute menace. Valkyrie, of course, she could throw her cams outside there, so she was a menace for a whole other reason. But yeah, both of those information and C4 operators, anyone with a C4 is so good on this map. The verticality is immense, and they're not backing away. They're not saying, oh, I think we've shown our hands. Maybe guys will just back off for this one and try something different. No, they're like, there's the Valkyrie, there's the Pulse, and we've got Solus as well, which is even more vertical, deadly play opportunity.
5 seconds left.
With a shotgun too, so not only is Sark's going to be able to find out where this plant's going down from above or below, but also make any holes needed to take that kill.
So there's 2 typical ways to deal with a slow burn round when you know C4's below. One is to play IQ, go slow yourself and drone below. That's what I mentioned earlier. The other one is go really fast and don't give Fnatic the map control in the briefing room to set up those pre-placed C4s, watch the cameras, and have this really good sense of feeling safe in their bomb site. And that's where we see stuff like the Glass and the Blitz. But they've actually doubled down. They're playing Glass and Blitz that can go fast, can be chaotic in the server whenever they want to at a moment's notice, with the IQ as well. And with the IQ, you get so much value in this round, because yes, we got the Valkyrie, we got the Pulse, but also Solus. All 3 gadgets can be heavily countered, at least figured out the locations of, by Sneak on 1 single operator. Now step 1, breach the mini wall. Step 2, get in the damn building.
Oh. Yeah, apparently, very quickly as well for Garen. Now he's got control of this mirror window. Ooh, needs to make sure he doesn't lose this fight though. Skeleton key, no, not gonna be. Gets swung by Wizard. And as things equalize, Fnatic are looking a lot better off. Boomsy goes for more and Wizard takes him down. That should be the round done. Wizard has been worth his weight in gold, eventually traded. So Sneak gives a lifeline to WYLDE.
RED sweeping.
And the top floor is theirs.
Spotted.
Yeah, out comes the scanner. Gotta check for those Val cams and yeah, pre-place D4s because there might be one as well. There goes the Val cam. Sneak finds another. Round is not over just yet. Sark's in a 1v2 offside.
It's that Solus. Protector comes out. The cross though, successful, and Mats will finish him off. Love that from Wild. A lot of pace at the start of that round, and then the wherewithal to refrag it out and the composure to get it done in the 2v3 down to a 2v0.
Actually very impressive how Wild can have a really basically a bad start to the round, right? Blitz gets injured the second they go for the push. Buck gets in, gets one easy opening kill, and then loses the second engagement to Sneak on the Valkyrie. And then Sneak gets a double kill as well. And I'm thinking, okay, now this round for Wild is going to be so hard to problem solve, but they don't overcomplicate it. They just keep up the pace, they drop the hatch, get side presence, and just start getting down that diffuser. And either they're going to get the post fight into a 1v1, or what happened is that the Thermite will get the kill, covering the flank going down, and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. We saw BB dropping yellow skylight and getting injured, so it would have been Buck in the meeting window, blitz down yellow skylight, and then pushing towards each other and just kind of bulldozering anybody in between them. So if that blitz gets down the skylight successfully, I think that round is going to be like a clean sweep for Wild because a takedown Sneak who got so many kills in that round. So yeah, we're bouncing rounds. 1-1-1-1-1 back and forth.
Attackers objective
If you
is
discount
defuse the
Wizard
bomb.
on the Valkyrie that round,
Yeah.
that would have been really dominant for Wild, so yeah.
Oh, sorry, Wizard,
Oh,
yeah.
well done.
True.
Easy to get confused. Sneak on Wild, he ended up having quite a few kills, but I was having a look at the stats from the stage so far, Nick. He's actually the most clutch player that we've got. He tends to die most of the time on his opening pick. Hold that thought for a second. There's a rush coming in. As Evan sends it on through with the blitz, goes deep past the smokes, and like you say, he has the defuse, he needs to take the kill, and he does. But it's not too easy here for Wild. They continue going deep, but they lose a lot of players. This is so deep to go with the diffuser, and he loses his life to Jegs. That's the round done, surely. Boomsy has to clutch up 1v3. It started so strong, Pengu.
Yeah.
And then it all went downhill.
It seems like Wild's early stage of a round, whether they're getting C4'd, dying on the entry, or just getting shot down on the blitz, it just keeps happening. Again, what could have been in this round, I've seen teams go deep with diffuser on the blitz before. It's highly risky. Either blitz gets 2 or 3 kills and can plant safely, or blitz will die in a gunfight like we just saw against the Scopus of Jegs, and diffuser is lost in the middle of the bomb site. But Wild, I mean, they're playing confidently. They're playing very strong-minded Siege right now, saying, guys, it's 2-2, it's a close game, but we think we have an open here. We've been playing, like, slow, medium kind of speed. Let's go really, really fast. Fnatic, though, they were well prepared and quite ready for it. And what now? I mean, you can stitch the floor, kill some cameras, and walk down a staircase, but you got 35 HP to your name, you're a sledge with 1 grenade in pocket, and you have no idea where the players of Fnatic they are hiding at.
Last nade used to take down the barbed wire, though. That's nice. Scopus of Jegs just around the corner. Man, he's been on fire today. 8 kills. I think he's about to find his 9th. He's got no idea.
Yeah.
Just around the corner.
Trying to bait them.
The rifle in hand. Yeah, I mean, he's trying. It's not going to find much. He's walking to a 3-way crossfire. You can try for the spiral hallway instead, but I don't think he'll find anything. Makes his way forward. Being swung by Wizard. Long angle from Sarks. Actually, a tiny bit of damage done. It's a trade, but of course doesn't matter. Fnatic looking good on that defense, but still this game is very much back and forth. Pengu, only 1 round separating these 2 teams.
Very much so. I really do respect how much Wild are taking these round decisions into their own control. What I mean by that is rushes like that. You're not winning or losing based off what the enemy might or might not do in a round. You're winning or losing based off exactly what you are doing as a team. And you're playing a very risky one, going for that bomb site rush. You know the consequences of your own mistakes. 1 wrong gunfight and the round can end. The only thing that surprised me was that no one was really deep in the bomb site with the blitz. Now, there was a dev really early on that favored Fnatic that got the kill. That could have maybe been the player behind the Blitz. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but it did seem like Evan needed a bit more help on the deep push, because you can't have just a Blitz pistol player do it all by himself, right? But that round is done and over. It's the last round in the first half. Fnatic, they go back upstairs to top floor. Well, WYLDE, they have suffered their fate of C4s and below. They're bringing out the IQ. I love this. They had the Kali before. Now they got the IQ instead. They can look for those P plays, take it slower, and actually get to the bomb site. Likely in a 5v5 with Blackbeard up and alive to escort his team into the bomb site.
Yeah, and the one round that WYLDE won on this bomb site was the very first round with that Blackbeard, Garen finding a few big hits. The one thing we know about the WYLDE attacks for sure is that they continue every single round to play so quickly. They get aggressive early on. It's actually led to them losing the opening pick for the last 4 rounds in a row. Nice that Sneak, as you say, has been ultra cautious with his scanner, checking for that pre-placed Nitro cell.
This is so funny, because like, do you spend the grenade for a C4? Do you sprint in and try and bait the C4, pop from pose? Like, you got these different ways of like the mind game, the cat and mouse. So I think using one grenade on IQ for a C4 trade would be good, but then he wants it and dies. Well,
dude, that is the epitome of tunnel vision right there. This guy is like so focused on using his gadget, he just walks in without even droning Visa.
Yeah.
Dies to someone holding a pretty simple angle. Yeah, that's gonna hurt for WYLDE.
It's kind of genius for Fnatic though, because it shows they're not just playing one layer of Siege, right? They're playing 2 layers, where they have a C4 in the basement with the pulse scanner active, and then a player, Valkyrie, actually, in the Visa hallway, registering off the pulse scanner. So if they got rid of the grenade, or if they got rid of the C4 and they walk in, that happens. They're playing 2 layers of Siege, and again, countering WYLDE's counter to their counter. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah. Actually got a really gnarly drone on the side. CEO, you can see very deep. He's going to try and flash those players with a Candela. WYLDE struggle to sink their teeth into this round. And the position held by Starks is perfect. He holds the line and finds the double. A 3K on the round for him. It's all over, Red Rover. Damn. Fnatic dominate to close out the half and take the split 4 rounds to 2.
That is one heck of a round. I mean, again, Fnatic, they can play the strats, they can play the layers, but at the end of the day, they're a bunch of young gunners. I mean, the way they're winning these gunfights, I mean, Sarks wasn't even looking in the correct direction for the second kill on top Visa. It was a flick and a half. And it just goes to show, again, WYLDE, a little bit outmatched, at least in the first half. But remind you, this is Consulate, typically a defender-sided map. Fnatic, I watched them yesterday playing Cafe, and you kind of referenced it earlier. I said they're kind of just running around and taking all these gunfights. They were. And they're doing it in a really good way. They were not just running around and dying and doing silly things. They had these coordinated pushes, whether it's a blitz somewhere or a guy backstabbing, you know, 2 versus 1 kind of gunfights. If you're really good at getting in the building on Consulate, and it sounds so silly to say this, but it's very hard to actually get inside the building often, especially at this level of play, you can just run over and just keep pushing forward on these attacking rounds. WYLDE obviously tried that a couple of times. Fnatic, they punished them. Now, my big question is, and the thing I'm going to be looking out for, will Fnatic go for a really fast-oriented attacking side, and can WYLDE counter it, or will they go a bit more fundamental, step 1, step 2, step 3, and kind of, you know, peel back the layers of the defense of WYLDE will present? That's what I'm going to be looking out for.
I'm curious to see whether WYLDE on their defense are going to have any level of similar interpretation to Fnatic on their defense. Because, I mean, we talked a lot about the info gathering. Every single round, Pengu, every single round except for the garage rounds, we saw both Pulse and Valkyrie. And a lot of the times we also had another information operator like the Mozzie or the Solus as well. So they went in so deep on that vertical C4 game. They went so deep on the info game. And even when it wasn't getting them kills with the C4s, it got them a kill in that last round by baiting IQ into having her gadget out and then finding the kill with a gun on her while she's vulnerable. And from the looks of it, WYLDE aren't at all doing that. They've got Echo, which is a very different kind of information operator. No C4s on the board as well. A lot of area denial in the smoke and the Tachanka. And the thing I'm excited for is this Denari.
There it is, yeah, the Denari being played. I mean, we can always love a team very easily who loves to bring out those new operators. And The amount of creative freedom you have with the Dynamic operator is what I love the most. There's so many different ways to utilize it. Crazy lines of sight with the lasers and things that you can do with the operator. Really pick onto Wizard, maybe on the yellow side, or I hope he didn't drop.
Surely.
Yeah, surely he picked the
There's no way
sky.
Wizard would have dropped.
Oh, Twitch drone though, kind of a counter operator right there. For the Nari gets the cam as well. But while playing heavy on utility, right, 2 deployable shields, although nothing to protect them, no Jäger, no Wamai, but then both the Smoke and Tashanga. So now Fnatic, in my mind, they are forced to play slow style Rainbow Six Siege because there's so much utility in their path. They can't go for an easy plant, they can't fight against deployable shields, you know, without clearing them first. But they got grenades on Jax, on the demos, they got fire on the Capital as well, and they got Grim Beast for good information. Despite losing Wizard early on the gridlock, I think this round is still fully in play for Fnatic, and that's why they're still taking this nice and slow. They know the win condition. If they can get to the side with these last 4 operators alive, they actually do have the tools to counter WYLDE.
I tell you what, Sarks deserves a gold medal for all of the work he's done with those Twitch drones. Denari gadgets, cameras, Fenrir mines, and that Yokai drone just there. So much the util that WYLDE have brought have been disabled. However, it's not going to matter. They have no players to play out the round. Deepek falling, and now Croxton as well. Yeah, there's not much left for Fnatic to do here.
Yeah, it's gonna suck to be against the Tashanga and Smoke now. I mean, get close to that bomb side door or hallway, and he's gonna lock you out with utility. You can't really fight back against it. And look at the discipline from WYLDE. They're not over-peeking, not taking any silly risks, they're playing smart.
Yeah, wow, they really are just sending in that utility.
Yep.
Look at Garen, he's still got 12 more Shamika launches, and Boomsy hasn't even used a single one of his smokes, so all of the round can now be burned. Sark's gonna have to go deep. Sneak's actually gonna fall vertically to that Vendetta. Just maybe there's a possibility. Sark's going deep. Jags confirms that kill. I don't think they know where he is. No one's been on that camera. Oh my god! Oh, not like this for Starks. It's all up to Jegs now. The 1v2 after Starks is finally traded. He's hit 10 kills, by the way, but Jegs has 11. He puts his sights on Evan. Now hidden inside of the closet. Now he focuses up on Garen. 2 bullets in the Vendetta. Can't land it. The shotty comes out. And a sigh of relief for WYLDE for a round they almost threw away.
What could have been, man? You know Sarks is feeling it, right? He gets a clean 2k and has the adrenaline, wants to go for the 3k, the clip, the round, the everything, the glory, and he loses out the 50-50 engagement. And if you play that round back in his mind, he could, you know, hold the passive angle, peel back, wait for demos to track the other player. They can reset the round because I know one defender is stuck inside the box of meeting. But when you're in that split-second situation, the most logical thing to do here, not knowing exactly where that last 4th defender is try and take down the one guy you know that's gonna swing you, and that was Tashanga. One more bullet onto Tashanga, and he gets injured or killed by the F2 of Twitch. That would have been a huge clip.
Yeah.
4-3 though, Fnatic only leading by 1 round.
That's the story of this game though, Nick. I mean, if we look at how the game's gone so far. First round, WYLDE win. Then Fnatic wins 2 in a row, now they're in the lead. Then WYLDE wins 1, and we're even. Then Fnatic wins 2, then WYLDE wins 1, and now Fnatic is only 1 round ahead. Like, it's literally just almost as back and forth as you could possibly get.
So what we're saying is Fnatic will win the following 2 rounds, yeah?
I mean, if the trend does continue, that will look kind of beautiful on the spreadsheet here.
It would.
If that happens, then yeah, Fnatic is going to win this game.
It means 5-7 loss for WYLDE, and you know, they've been there before and they don't want to go there again. They love their overtimes, right? 2 of the 3 games they've played went to a T, 1 loss, 1 victory. They gotta get that clean win eventually, but with Jax going 11-3, Sarks 10-3, there is some individual firepower on the side of Fnatic that right now they can't seem to shut down consistently in the rounds, whereas the spread on WYLDE, 3 kills, 3 kills, 3 kills, 4, 6, every single player getting very similar value on the scoreboard. Much more team effort, if you will, from WYLDE.
So what's Fnatic cooking this round on their basement attack? Vertical seems to be the name of the game. Ram and Fuse signal that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they've taken map control signals that. Not a single roamer from WYLDE surprises me, Pengu. allowed Fnatic to get really quick control.
Playing that heavy util game. Last round on top floor, double deployable shield, util operators. Now they're going basement. They're playing the good old Kai Tubra for deny. They're playing the mirror windows. Then time stall deny on the Goyul, combined with Echo for info and plant denial. They want Fnatic to suffer on the clock. Yeah, he is actually. Found his way.
I swear that I saw all 5 people in the basement, but never mind. Somehow I missed Sneak.
Well, he's a sneaky boy.
Ooh.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, he's trying his best. There's a game of Ring Around the Rosie. He takes out Jegs.
Huge.
Awkward for Fnatic. They have to hunt him. How long will he hold on? This is a very strange place to put a tuber out. But still, the MPX is in hand. Couple of bullets shot towards Wizard. Where is the refrag here from Fnatic? Where is the team plate? Map will overextend, however. And perhaps Fnatic can actually ignore this roamer on the top floor, especially if they find more kills. And that's the call. Flash goes out. Deepek goes deep into the site. Worry about a player in kitchen. Spots him. Evan finished off. Here is the gap that Fnatic have found. And the plant begins to go down. Sneak back on site, but Boomsy has fallen. It's all up to Sneak now.
Beautiful.
And the roamer will not be able to suffice. Wow. What a flip of the switch for Fnatic.
Beautiful round right there. I mean, we're watching the action happen top floor, and it's a complete clown circus, right? Fuse goes one way, Tuber the other. They have no idea what's going on from either side, and Fnatic can tell they are a very vocal team. When they're playing defense, how they're playing the C4s and protecting them. Now that they're on the attacking side, they're trying to roam clear top floor, yet they communicate an IGL a gap on the basement, and everyone switches immediately and says, guys, if one guy's roaming here, and I got a guy dead in this corner, that means only 2 guys can defend the side itself. Let's just hit it and overwhelm them, and we'll win the round. There was this I don't want to say story or rumor. There's this interview, I think, from the Fnatic players saying we don't really have an IGL right now. We're just kind of all playing the game. And I think this right here is a beautiful round that showcases not having one strict IGL that controls all the pieces. Because you can only really make this kind of play in the round if you have a lot of vocal players all spitting out their ideas, because you're sharing what everyone is seeing and then making the best plan from that information. So really, really, really solid round from Fnatic.
Seeing a lot of good things. I was a doubter, I'll admit it.
Yeah,
These
well,
guys,
I don't blame you.
They are Fnatic, they are cafe merchants. No, not the case. Here they are on concert. They're looking really solid. We know WYLDE are good on this map too. They took G2 to a pretty serious fight here, and yet have a look at this. Fnatic inching closer into a tech. If I'm not wrong, there was a tactical there as well.
Yeah, it was a tack into a tech, like a back-to-back situation there.
Back to back. So what's WYLDE got to work on right now? That's my question. I mean, start to see the cracks forming after they are trailing by 2 rounds.
It's hard because I'm thinking of the defenses right now, and obviously defense is a lot more reactionary than being proactive, right? You set up your pieces in the prep phase, either expecting a certain attack or trying to counter a certain attack, and then seeing what happens. And it seems like right now, WYLDE don't have as much foresight in what Fnatic might be doing in the round, so they're reacting to the next, like, let's say 5 seconds in the future, right? Fnatic, they're like 20 seconds in the future, thinking, okay, if this guy's here and that guy's there, we can push this thing. I don't know what happened exactly on the basement in the previous round, but you can simplify it and say WYLDE lost gunfights on the entry, and that weakened the bomb site and enabled the push to happen. If you kill the player backstepping from server or the Deepek on yellow door diffuser, the entire round slows down from the side of Fnatic. If you don't get either of those 2 kills, well, then you get overwhelmed, you get rushed, and you lose the round. It could be as simple as the entries of Fnatic like Sarks is just too powerful right now for WYLDE to deal with, honestly.
Yeah.
So Twitch F2, by the way, it's the second playday of EML where I see different players playing Twitch F2 out of nowhere. What's happened? Is there something that I don't know about? I mean, apparently it's back. Did you see Sarks' kills with that gun? He's fragging people.
Pretty damn good. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, 417 is very much on meta. All the DMRs are at the moment, but you switch to that F2 and suddenly, wow, is that an unmade bed I see? Shame on thee. This is a much better setup from Sneak. You can really tell who's streaming and who's just rolling out of.
You can tell us into anime, dude.
This is a made bed. I respect this. I like.
Do you make your bed every morning, James?
I do actually. Yeah,
Like, do you genuinely, seriously, and honestly make your bed every morning?
Okay, I do, but I don't do the thing where you tuck the sheets under because
Okay, so just like, okay.
I'm a burrito sleeper. So like every night. So whenever I go to a hotel, for example, and they've like absolutely like giga stuff those sheets underneath the mattress, so you can't move. You're like trapped in there. First thing I do when I go to a hotel room is unpull that, and then I turn into a burrito when I sleep. So when I say I make my bed, I don't like fully like underfold the things, but like yes, I do make my bed.
I can't say I relate. I have that mindset of like, I'm making it. Why? I'm gonna go sleep in it in like 16 hours from now, and I'm gonna unmake it again, and it doesn't matter. No one can see my bedroom because it's upstairs, and like there's no camera on anything else like that. But this is really big, saying that if you start the day off with a victory, right, with a good deed, with a win, like making your bed, it builds up and makes your whole day better. And I tried making my bed every day for a week, and my life only got worse from that, I think. So I kind of give up on it, honestly.
I guess if you start your day like with a loss, then it can only get better.
It can only get better. So it's like, oh, dude, I'm lazy, I'm a bum. Well, it can only go up from here, right?
And then you're like, hey, I brushed my teeth this morning. I'm a Chad.
Well, I'm actually an evening brusher. I was raised that you brush your teeth before bed, and that's it. And then if you're really crazy, you do both.
Brush your teeth twice a day. That's like normal. That's like bare minimum.
Is it normal to do morning and evening? Do you think? Like if you ask every person in the world, do you think most people?
You are so exposing yourself right now,
dude. Bro. Everyone in Denmark does it in the evening. I swear, like that's it.
No way.
No, actually,
really?
Like, no. Every friend that I've ever known in real life that I generally hang out with, even non-Danish people, they do evening. And then if you have like, I don't know, a bad morning, you can do like morning as well. Or if you have like a meeting or interview or something like that, like you want to really be nice about it, right?
Wow.
But I honestly don't know many people that does both. Either you do morning or evening.
That's crazy. I would love to know if chat agrees with me here, because this feels like you're exposing yourself.
No, I'm actually gonna get completely roasted in chat.
If this is genuinely a normal thing in places other than Australia, but like, growing up, we had like so many like ads directed at kids, like, yeah, you have to brush twice a day. And my dad, like, he is a sweet tooth. He loves sugar, he loves chocolate, loves ice cream. He grew up like not brushing his teeth properly, and his teeth are terrible. So my like incentive was like, dad would be like, look at this, and he would smile and he'd be like, you don't want to end up like this, so brush your teeth.
All right, well, I was raised with, my mom has like, this was what I was told as a kid, my mom has like strong enzymes in her spit, right, which helps protect the teeth or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm my mother's son, and I didn't have a father growing up, so surely I am 100% like my mother and nothing like my father, which we then learned is not true at all, right? It was very opposite, actually. But that was my kid-child brain thinking that way. And I was thinking, I brush once a day, I hate brushing teeth, but I'll do it, it's fine. I've had 0 tooth issues yet. Knocking on wood.
That's wild.
And I was
wild.
a huge
From a guy
tooth.
that brushes his teeth once a day. So I while you were talking to Sen, Nick, I'm gonna be honest. I had a little bit of an ear in from production, and you know, many people know Blast Production is based in Denmark, just down the road from you in Copenhagen. And they were like, just so you know, Nick is fully lying. Nobody in Denmark brushes their teeth once a day. It's twice a day, just like everywhere else. You are so exposed.
I'm gonna drag people with me. My mother, my best friend, my father, my cousin. I'm gonna take the whole band. We gotta make a boss. The ones a day.
Animals.
Teeth brushing people. My bad. I'm a gamer.
That's incredible. You've never had a filling or anything like that for your teeth?
I got my wisdom teeth removed because they were too big for my mouth. That was it.
Oh, I think this guy's teeth are too big for his mouth.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Right. You know what to say?
You know
all that wisdom.
Attackers are moving to defuse the
Too
bomb.
much wisdom.
Well, it's gone now, but I had a lot of it. Now I got nothing left.
Was that in your playing heyday? You had your wisdom all about you, and then they got rid of it, and that's why you
As a matter of fact, when I retired, moved to America, I got back to Denmark for 2 weeks just to get my tooth surgery, to get them removed, because I was not about to, pay the bank in America to get my teeth fixed. So yeah, as a matter of fact, I was retired when it happened.
Incredible. Well, thanks for bearing with us through a little bit of a technical pause, everyone at home. We're back into it, and Nick, I'm not sure if you remember, but there was a game going on, Fnatic and WYLDE. It's a pretty damn tense one as well, but Fnatic, it feels like they're just edging ahead.
They were fast paced there for a second. The Doka be the blitz and just storming in the building, but now we can say stop. Let's drone first. Get that force active. Counter those deployable shields that utility that WYLDE loves to play behind. funny enough, WYLDE are actually playing incredibly far back right now. Not playing Soda Machine, not playing Top Spiral, not swinging that meeting door for the Twitch drone denial or Flores denial. They're giving Fnatic the first step seen for free. With this Blitz and Dokkaebi combo, they can go really aggressive here.
Ooh, bit of damage on the Jags. Ooh, a lot of damage on the Jags. Poor Blitz. Oh, it's not looking too hot here for Fnatic. WYLDE stand their ground. And this push on the top floor, it's made some headway, but that's mostly because WYLDE has just given up the ground after they've taken their early advantage.
It seems to happen quite a lot. Like Fnatic lose a player early, they stall out, they slow down, and I'm not sure what plan B is. Now, again, they're faced with utility, right? The Toxic Babes getting tossed out, stalling the round further. No second Dokkaebi call because Croxen died. Blitz has to lead the way, so he goes downstairs towards lobby. Door is barricaded. There's all these different obstacles constantly for Fnatic to deal with, and they can't find any free kills because, well, they just keep falling back, falling back, falling back. And now they're primarily playing top floor, holding the entirety of the bomb set vertically from above. Fnatic can maybe try and sneak a plan with a smoke grenade and a blitz shield, but in that 4v5, that's going to be difficult.
So what is the play?
I don't know. At this point, it's... I would say go fishing. I mean, we've seen this before,
F2.
right? So Sarks, been here before. Double kill. Almost a third. They can bait the plant downstairs and then flank above. That's got to be the play.
I mean, Sarks is just going to go big here. You know it. He's got the F2 with the Glacier. Meanwhile, Jags... We already know he's a bit low on HP, but that smoke is potentially going to enable a cross. Wizards fallen elsewhere. This makes it a bit happenstance here for Fnatic. Going deep is Sarks. He's got the cover, finds one, but does eventually get traded on back. It's now going to be all up to Jags. This is going to have to be massive. He's already found two with this measly little pistol. Now he's going deep, looking for one more.
No.
The gas lights him up. He's got info on both of these remaining players, though. Needs to take some fights. Oh my god, he's so low on HP, and he just wants to keep on jingling the fight. Garen sprays him, needs to reload, goes prone, but gets spotted by Evan. Fnatic will not find the match point, not yet. WYLDE continue fighting back.
Incredible, honestly. I mean, I was loving the idea of the Blitz clutch in that fashion. Gets the diffuser down, 2-piece, no shield, has to reload, gets more kills, but no, the story isn't there for Jax. The clutch does not happen, and WYLDE, they keep on fighting back. I like what we're seeing there. Fnatic, they stalled out for a short moment, but they had a clear plan once more. They spent about 30-40 seconds saying, guys, let's bait the bomb site, flank up above, and see what happens. If Sarks gets that first kill, which he did actually, and then doesn't sprint into CEO for the second, the entire round could be a lot more stable as they kept verticality pressure up above for the post plant. But Sarks did end up sprinting, did die in the gunfight, and therefore, while they had a man advantage even further and further and further in that round. 5-4. We're getting close to the end game, James. These bomb set rotations are going to be reset. 3 rounds played means you go back to that start side of top floor most likely and take it one more time.
I feel like overtime may be cooking here, Nick. With how close WYLDE are pushing it against Fnatic. Oh, frustration there for Deepek. And sigh of relief for WYLDE, understandable.
Yeah. It's been some clutch moments though, I gotta say. I mean, the last 20 seconds of half of these rounds have been quite intense, and we start seeing teams just switch up out of nowhere. Always fighting back.
We've seen the last operator bans come through, Nick, by the way.
Right. True, actually.
Fenrir and Twitch, that's wild.
The target ban, I mean, I do get it with the operators that WYLDE have been playing. The Twitch drone is getting a lot of value, especially against Denari. The Fenrir ban makes entering a lot more difficult. And also, if you're expecting maybe a Twitch ban, the Fenrir ban is even better because Twitch heavily counters the Fenrir mines, right? So now you substitute the Fenrir ban with Melusi, for example, and you can do the same similar kind of job. And you gotta now bring self-destruction from the attackers like Flores or grenades to just walk in and take the space and shoot the Melusi banshees. Or play Brava, technically also works. You hack them, take control. Fun little fact, I guess, here. If you hack the Prismas from Denari, they don't become the attacker's Prisma. They just get destroyed. So there's no fun interaction where you get like half a green, half a blue laser and half a orange laser or something like that. They just kind of simply step away.
Which is why it's perhaps less good value for a Brava to go for one of them compared to like a Twitch, for example, or Shooting. Brava really wants to prioritize util that then she's going to be able to use herself, you know, Evil Eyes, Banshees even.
I'm reloading!
Pretty good value.
If you want to get really cheeky.
It's kind of the same as before, where WYLDE, they completely surrender the first, you know, the 1/3 of the map. They don't care about admin, they don't care about Soda Machine, they don't care about top spiral. So the Twitch was getting complete free control. Now the Brava is getting complete free control. This has taken a fair bit of time though, and both Brava drones have been used. One was killed, maybe both. So Fnatic, they spent the first half of the clock saying, guys, let's just get step 1 done. But now they're rotating. CEO window, yellow skylight, and downstairs. This could actually be a CO take in the end.
Device ready.
Well, they got the vertical pressure. But the problem is the area denial from Tachanka and Smoke is going to make this very difficult for Fnatic to execute. I don't know what they could do to counter that, to be honest, aside from going deep and disrupting those players.
Yeah, it feels like, again, against the Shanga, against the Smoke, having a Toxic Babe left, going for a simple plant isn't gonna cut it. As you said, they gotta go deep for kills here and make something happen, but maybe a second, third rotation back to admin? I'm not sure. But look at WYLDE. They're not sure either what's happening because they keep going back and forth in this execute. Oh. There's a pick. A free one.
Deploying code.
Jax takes down Matt. Togepi Call comes out. The push has to follow surely. No push just yet though. Deepak fishing, sneak injured. Again, Fnatic, they keep distracting and surprising their opponent, not doing anything logical, anything simple. They're gonna admin already as well. So they go CO, they go admin, they're in meeting all of a sudden, the bomb gets planted. WYLDE, they look in the wrong direction. They have no idea. They're looking at yellow stairs, they're looking at spiral, but they're in the bomb site. A BP was next to the planter, but it was called by the Dokkaebi earlier on. No coverage, no information. One player left. LL again covering yellow stairs the entire time, but nobody's here. Fnatic have eyes and ears everywhere. That no one IGL strat is working to perfection. Sharing the wealth of information and making the right call. We don't see these kinds of back and forth rotations almost ever, but Fnatic twice here on Consulate has done exactly that, where they flip the plan multiple times in a round and they still get a clean execute. Tactical timeout from WYLDE taken. Fully understandable here because this round is, or this game rather, the entirety of it is kind of falling apart. It's such a hard thing to deal with though, because what do? Either you play information game, you know, start playing the cameras, but are you safe on the bomb site to check them because of how aggressive Fnatic can be on the map? Do you start playing traps? Well, they have been, right? They played Denari, they played Melusi, they played Ella. They've been playing, you know, Deny, like the Shanga, like the Smoke. It kind of comes down again to being prepared for the gunfights and the engagements. If Fnatic can just walk on the map, you know, poke over there, walk over here, backstab, rotate around, and you have no idea what's going on, and you're not winning your gunfights, you're just again gonna end up being overwhelmed. And I think the main reason why this works so well is because it's not typical Siege. If you've played Consulate, let's say hundreds of times, you've probably only been in these kinds of rounds a handful of those. Because normally you go admin and you don't tend to rotate a whole lot. Maybe you have one guy backstepping. But they're doing full rotations right now across the entire building. Of course, Siege X also helps with that because of the rappel change. You can now sprint on the rappel, change around the corners. It does make maps like, you know, Cafe, Bank, Consulate a bit more effortless to rotate on. Because it's a long way from CEO window to admin rappel. It's a good 20-second sprint across the map, basically. Or a good 15 on rappel, perhaps.
10 seconds remaining.
Hello. I believe I'm
Hello, Good James. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'll find out from production if they can't hear me, but yeah.
I hear you.
We should be all good. What did I miss, Nick? Fnatic found the end of that round by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually kind of ridiculous. You know, they started admin, then they went CEO, then they went back to admin, kind of back to CEO, then they sprinted in from Spiral and planted the bomb. It was kind of crazy. They're just like overpowering WYLDE. being unpredictable is the best way I can put it. Despite the fact that they played Ella, they played Melusi. But then we gotta go back to the fact that the Brava hacked almost every piece of gadgetry on the admin side in the beginning of the round, which won them the end of the round. So Fnatic are getting the last step done first, it appears.
Long way back for Wild now, though. It felt like overtime was cooking, but
Yeah.
I'm not so convinced now. Especially when you start seeing the telltale signs of a bit of a switch up from Fnatic in that Monty pick. Doesn't matter that you ban the Twitch, Wild, because Sarks is going to jump straight onto the Hibana.
Loading new magazine!
Spotted a bomb.
Again, I'm trying to figure out what the plan is here. I mean, they got top for control, they got the Monty now, so a much more stable round perhaps here for the side of Fnatic. Careful, don't team kill, trying to shoot the Valkyrie camera. Can be a bit scary. The top floor clear is good though, but again, I look at the timer and go, is this too slow perhaps? No kill found, only one floor in control. The tracker from Deimos is all the way in Narnia on top spiral, like take me bottom spiral. Banana, also known as. And there's no real roaming presence, so Fnatic gotta start speeding up now so they can get time for bomb side later on.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? You got to be thorough on the roam clear, but if there's no one defined, then you can waste a hell of a lot of time. And there's a lot of time burn operators here on the Wild side. Just makes me think of that song. Take a walk on the Wild side. You got that Kaid on the Wild side, which is going to have to be dealt with. I believe they have done so now.
Put out the two-brow this time.
Oh, this is awkward. They're trying their best to destroy the Kaid by putting the X-Kairos on the right side of the hatch, but it hasn't worked as of yet. This is going to get very, very difficult.
I didn't see if the soft on piano was there, but you could thermite it if it was. The flashbang is good. Oh, Sneak wins the gunfight though.
Not good enough, apparently. Not for Sneak. There is a trade. It's going to be desperate now for Fnatic, but they find the critical kill. They've got numbers advantage. Can they brute force it with 30 seconds and no hatch? Impacts go out, but Jegs unfazed continues lumbering forward piece by piece. Nitro Cell takes him low, but still not dead yet. This is a critical kill from Croxton, and he finds it. Still, Fnatic keep on pushing. Wild have to stand tall as ever now at the MP5. He finds his first as Croxton drops. Wizard is the last man standing. To try and take out Wild, he will not suffice. And the defense just muster up enough to keep the game alive.
The biggest thing right there from WYLDE is that they actually fixed one of their biggest issues of the past many rounds, which is understanding what is happening around them, right? And then what I'm referring to right there is in the 3 versus 2, 3 for Fnatic, 2 for WYLDE, there was one person pushing yellow stairs door with the backstep. Then you had Monty and Deimos working the backside. And WYLDE turned around and fought the yellow door player first and was very aware of him, and they did not end up getting shot in the back. And that's what's been happening so many of these rounds, where the distraction game, in this case the Monty, ends up taking all of their energy and they forget about the flank next to them, or behind them rather. Such good injury from Croxton, finding 2 kills right here. Both the guy on the boost spot and the flake on the guy meeting. And here, see, the silhouette, yellow door, about to walk in, takes the Monty, looks around. Okay, the backstep is coming. They had the yellow ping, they had the intel game, and they communicated clearly.
Credit to Fnatic that they even got it that close though, Pengu, because keep in mind, they were struggling to open up that hatch. They had to pivot, they had to go for it. You know what not many teams want to do, which is like no one pushing breach, no one pushing hatch, no vertical pressure. You're just pushing from spiral, you're pushing from blue hallway, and you're pushing from yellow. Like that's not a great push. So the fact they got it that close in the first place is a testament to, their just commitment to push through, even if it's not a great plan, to do it together, right?
Yeah,
and they
exactly. And the good old saying, 5 idiots following a bad plan is better than having no plan at all. Fabian used to say that all the time.
Look, having a Monty doesn't hurt as well.
No, it does not.
You can have your 5 idiots marching behind or in tandem with this immovable mountain.
That's it. I mean, Monty is the simplification operator of a tough situation, because you can just stay alive, make the calls, and figure it out. No Twitch this round would be nice against the Nauri traps, but we got the Brava. But the big change up here from WYLDE is look at their player positions. They're actually holding the front lines, Coffin, Break Room, Top Spiral, Soda Machine. They've been surrendering the space every round until this very moment. Oh,
there's a pick for Deepak. The Denari lasers, no, not to be for Sarks. Would have needed Tom Cruise for that one. WYLDE continue holding on. Yeah, that's a big critical one though. But yeah, look, hacking each of these Denari gadgets is not going to do much, right? Because there's so many lasers available, so many gadgets there creating those traps. So the Brava is not a great counter.
Yeah, they recharge in 8 seconds after being, you know, tripped or triggered or activated, whatever you want to call it. So, oh, that's a new jammer.
Ooh,
that's unlucky. No new jammer. Oh boy. Elamine killed the Monty.
Yeah. And I think this might be overtime for Wild. 4v2 as Deepek and Wizard look lost completely. Rotero can be sent on in. It's the last one. Oh, actually, sorry, one more still in pocket for Deepek if he wants to use it. There we go. No more worrying about the Denari now. He has to go deep. Wild have played very passively, and there's Garen, the LMG of Tachanka. Deepek thinks better of re-peeking that, puts his attention elsewhere, but what avenues does he have? Realistically, 3 lanes, none of which sound like a good idea.
Oh, this backline is too strong for Wild. The discipline holding crossfires again. Nobody's swinging this guy. He's 1 HP walking around. There is a swing. Mats gets punished, but again, the fire, the gas, it's a full-on lockout for Wild.
Yeah. A bit of a peter out for Fnatic on this round. It started looking strong. They had a few match points, but not to be. Overtime up on the docket like we expected for Wild. 2 rounds on the trot to push us deeper into this game.
This is ridiculous, right? Wild has played 3 games before this one. They had a 6-8 loss to Virtus.pro, a 5-7 loss to G2, and an 8-7 victory against Falcons. This is their 4th match. In 4 games played, 3 has gone to overtime. And now we're here again. Like it's just Wild. They kind of heat up as the match progresses. Fnatic, they were in the driver's seat more or less the first half. And also starting the second half on the attack, Fnatic were looking just fine. All right, they were looking good most of the time as well. But then Wild, they finally seem to figure out in the very late stage here, okay, let's actually play on the front lines. Let's protect the Denari gadgets. Let's protect the Elemines and switch up our own pacing on defense. And if Fnatic don't figure out that we have changed our pace and they do the same thing, we can then counter them. So it feels like Fnatic, they get things understood very quickly and they adapt faster. Wild, a bit slower, maybe lacking a bit more experience compared to players like Deepek on the side of Fnatic, but they get there, and that's the most important part. They actually get to shine in these games and take really good teams the distance. And losing in overtime, if that were to be the case again, like against VP, is nothing to be ashamed of. But winning would be quite nice.
Yeah. At this point, I think Wild have played twice as many rounds as BDS have. Next to BDS having a 7-1 and a 1-7.
I mean,
Wild are no strangers to long games.
Could be worse. You could be secret, right? You lose 1-7 and then 2-7 back to back.
2-7, yeah. Hey, they at least had a close one against Fnatic, but they did even lose that 8-7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not a good day to be a secret fan. Something about the curse of winning a massive tournament, getting the big paycheck from EWC, and then coming back home to Europe, finding nothing. Of course, they'll be playing later today. For now, we've got to settle this because we had highly anticipated this game with the new look Fnatic. Croxen and Wizard on the roster, bringing a little bit of extra something for this team that has been so disappointing for so long, and they've rocketed up from 10th place to 2nd on the standings. Any more points out of this game, and they may well end up 1st at the end of the playday.
Yeah, and Wild on the other side, being a bottom team from last stage and kind of, you know, counted out, I think, by most spectators saying these guys might not be good enough to hang in Pro League for much longer if relegation's around, right? But they are proving themselves very worthy in this stage with quick improvements. They stay on defense, by the way, as in overtime, sometimes a side swap will happen based on what they selected in the veto phase. It's gonna be Fnatic on the attack, a flank downstairs, the drone not watched.
Ooh.
A flank could be lethal here.
Is in position. No way. Sarks' job is to watch for that retake from down in Visa, and
True.
Jegs will fall. That's your Montaigne. I mean, that is just really disappointing there for Fnatic. They've been so good for so much of this game, and yet they had a taste of their own medicine. They were the team that went for all the vertical C4s on their defense, and now it's been done to them, and they have absolutely no clue about these Valkyrie cameras.
And there's 2 flanks downstairs, and Sark's only holding 1. Now the advancement comes from Fnatic to say, guys, it's time to push. Grimpy's out, Sark's on spiral stairs.
It's gonna have to have a big impact with the R4C here. Takes down the Denari trap. Worried about a flank. Nothing as of yet. 50 seconds still to play. As Wild continue to play passively. This is how they like to play out these late rounds, Pengu.
Yeah, they do, but Wild are ready for it. They got numbers advantage, they got the smokes coming out. Look at this gap, though, Crocs, and if he finds 1 or 2 kills here, that can open the whole round for his team.
Time for the Croc to open his jaw and start devouring some Wild players. Oh, he's instead going to go for the plan, and Wizard is going to cover.
don't know.
Big Nitro from Matt, but Croxon will confirm this diffuser plant and off position. Will he be able to hold the line? He only finds 1. Deepek now has to hold the post plant. 2 more to find. As the double SAS operators. SMG-11s in abundance. And they make it work. It's a 4K. A big quad for Mats. And Wild, for the very first time, they've got match point on Fnatic.
That is incredible. Again, it seems like Fnatic, they get locked out pretty early in some of these rounds, but then they just turn up in the end round, they get a plant down, but again, the post plant isn't all that sexy. The post plant, middle of the room, behind the long desk means you can't play it from far away, you know, an admin or from below or from the breach, anything like that. So the retake is good for the defenders of Wild. The most experienced player in the server, Deepek, couldn't hold it in the 1v2 because of not having any information. There were essentially no drones in that round at any moment that gave Fnatic a lot of value. I mean, the round started with Sark having to hold the Visa flank. That means the lobby hallway and the Visa hallway. He's holding 1 with his gun, but we saw there was 2 drones inside of lobby that nobody's watching. So the C4 comes out, takes down the first attacker, and the round just kind of crumbles from there. Good doubles from there from Wild in the post plant, in the retake. Big screams. Good energy all across the board. Another round for them. They go on the attack now, and it would be amazing for Wild as a team if they can just hack it on the attack, get the 8-6, and not have to crouch on playing defense, the more favorable side. But this has been a defender favorite map so far. Fnatic took 4 on their half and asked it Wild, plus that 5th in overtime.
10 seconds to go.
And even in that round just gone by, Fnatic were no slumps. Yes, they failed when it came to countering the Valkyrie camera. They fell to the C4, but in the late round there, Nick, like, you see Croxon go deep, you see Wizard covering it. Fnatic can make the best of a bad situation. Now they have a good situation. They start on defense. Like you said, they won 4 out of 6 of those on their defensive side. Same to be said for Wild. It's been a hell of a long time since we saw Fnatic on D in that first half. Wild have won this bomb side before, but it was in the very first round. It came all down to this Blackbeard from Garen.
Yeah.
We know how Wild like to play these attacks, don't we, Nick? They get very aggressive, very pacey. Are they going to keep that up, even here in overtime with it all on the line?
Well, that's the thing, right? Everything's on the line, but they can afford to lose this one, so they shouldn't be feeling the pressure as much as Fnatic. Often we go into overtime games, we see both teams actually play more passive, play a little bit slower on the clock because of the nerves, the pressure, etc. Fnatic are not playing that dynamic setup with the double information operator Valkyrie posted 4 below. They're playing plant deny, they're playing, timeout basically, smoke Goyo. They're playing traps for entries, Fenrir and Melusi. They want to play around the fact that Wild are probably going to be slower in this round, and then also enforce or fortify, strengthen their own attacks, or gunfights rather, on the defense by weakening their opponents with the Fenrir.
We talked about if Wild like to play pacey. I mean, it's a minute and a half down, and they're only just breaching the meeting wall.
Yeah.
There's not many people in the building as of yet. It's just Garen and Evan. I mean, I guess we've also got Sneak on the flank watch. Perhaps they're overreading this a little bit. They're expecting Fnatic to go for much of the same we saw them go in regulation, which was very much vertical play, a lot of C4s, a lot of Pulse and Valkyrie. Not at all present here.
Yeah.
For Fnatic. Completely different defensive interpretation.
On the other side, though, I mean, if Wild has gotten to the bomb site in the 5v5 with Ying and Blackbeard, they haven't been here before, really. So they're actually going to have their chance of going for a bomb site execute. And again, the only real problem in their path right now is going to be plant deny. 3 toxic babes from Smoke's D-Pack. If he doesn't die and plays his gadget perfectly, he can stall the rest of the round for default plant position. Wild are forced to plant in an odd position or go for kills first.
There's the plant going down. WYLDE pushing everywhere at once. These Candelas on one side of the map, the entry on the other. And Boomsy and Sneak find the first 2 kills. Fnatic, they have no idea where the push is coming from, and neither do I. WYLDE are everywhere all at once, but this from Sarks almost finds an opportunity to bring things back into Fnatic's favor, but Deepek has fallen. Sarks is forced to clutch. Sneak and Evan. A flash is perfect. Another one to follow up. They're gonna go deep. They're gonna refrag it out. And Sneak's got the Ying shotgun. WYLDE break the spell. And they break Fnatic's streak. It's a win in overtime for the underdogs.